Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Queen Anne's County Commissioners meeting. This is a public meeting that is being aired live on our local cable television station, QACTV 7. These media broadcasts provide county citizens an opportunity to watch and participate in our scheduled public meetings. In addition to our live audience this evening, we are providing remote options for citizens to watch and participate in county commissioner meetings. Citizens may watch our meeting live on our website at qac.org/live or on our public access governmental television channel provided by BreezeLine Cable Services. Citizens may also participate by joining the live Zoom meeting by going to qac.org/public comment, and citizens may also email comments to publiccomment@qac.org, and all comments received will be summarized during the press and public comment period on tonight's agenda. We acknowledge everyone's participation, and by attending, you acknowledge that this session is both recorded and re-aired. Press and public comment will be taken and is limited to 3 minutes per person. If you do care to speak, please sign up at the information table in our lobby. Comments longer than 3 minutes can be submitted in writing for the Commissioner's review. We will now stand and be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Commission President Jim Moran.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, do we have Commissioner Corcorino up there on the?
Yes, sir. On assignment.
Okay,
Yep.
on assignment. I believe
He's there.
Okay, all right. I want to make sure
He really is on
still
assignment.
connected.
There he is.
There
There he is.
Look at that face. Ooh.
Where do you keep the batteries for
Keep
that
it off,
tie?
Chris. It's good. That was scary.
Thank you, Bruce. Okay, Commissioners, first we have the agenda for today's meeting, April 14th, along with the regular session minutes, the closed session minutes for March 24th. They've been circulated for your review, and in addition to that, we circulated the budget work session meetings from work sessions 1 and 2 from March 24th and March 31st for your review. Any additions or corrections?
Nope. Motion to accept the agenda as submitted and the minutes as submitted.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Go.
All right. So we just held a closed session under the General Provisions Article, Section 3305B7 to consult with counsel, and Section 3305B3 for land acquisition. No decisions during the closed session today.
You don't have anything.
Do you want to do public comment?
Yes.
Anybody
We
sign?
don't have any here.
We have nobody signed up. Would anybody like to speak? Press, public comment? Nope, we'll close it. Moving on.
All right. Okay, we can move into the regular portion of the agenda. So we have legislation is first, and it is just after us, exactly 5:40. So first up, we have the Comprehensive Solid Waste Management Plan public hearing. So Mr. Thompson, Mr. Shane Moore, Chief Roads Engineer, come on up. Mr. Thompson will officiate the hearing, and this is for the 10-year solid waste plan update.
Where are we?
This is, I'm sorry, tab number 7, item 1, pages 1 through 4. Tab 7 under legislation, item 1, pages 1 through 4. And then we also provided the link in your summary to the 194-page comprehensive solid waste plan for review and inspection. That plan has also been provided to our county libraries, and it's been available for public review for some time now. And all of our municipal town members have reviewed it and provided their input in the plan. So, Mr. Thompson.
Ready? This is a public hearing being held by the County Commission of Queen Anne's County, 5:40 p.m. Tuesday, April 14, 2026, in the Commissioner's Meeting Room, Liberty Building, 107 North Liberty Street, Centerville, Maryland. The purpose of the hearing is to review and receive public comments on the draft comprehensive solid waste management plan. This 10-year plan is required pursuant to the Code of Maryland Regulations, Title 26, Subtitle 3, Chapter 3, entitled Development of County Comprehensive Solid Waste Management Plans. This hearing site is accessible to individuals. Sign language interpreters and assistant listening systems are available. Person who wishes to comment on the proposed new comprehensive solid waste management plan may do so at the hearing. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each, but written testimony of any length may be submitted before the hearing date to Director of Public Works 312 Safety Drive, Centerville, Maryland. The proposed solid waste management plan has been available for public review on the county website or at any of the 3 county public libraries. Copies of the plan have also been available at the Department of Public Works, 312 Centerville Drive. Safety Drive, Centerville, Maryland. Part of the record, notice of proceeding will be a certificate of publication indicating that notice of the hearing was published for 3 consecutive weeks prior to the hearing in the Bay Times Record Observer. There have been some public comments received, and they're in the record, the part of the record and in the file. No one signed up. Are there any public comments? Shane, did you have anything you want to?
Yep.
I mean, basically, per section 9503A of the Environmental Article Code of Maryland, we are required to submit a 10-year comprehensive solid waste management plan. To kind of reiterate what Todd said, this draft plan was submitted to MDE January of 2026. We have received those comments and addressed all of MDE's comments. In addition, we have sent it to all the municipalities. We've received their comments and addressed the plan, and that is the plan that currently everyone has a link to or has a copy of. Last week, we presented to the Planning Commission on April 9th, and we subsequently got approved with a consistency with the county's comprehensive plan. I have that letter as well. In addition to the advertisement, it was put in the, it was available at DPW as well as the libraries, and I believe all of that was already stated.
None of you guys have any issues with it.
So,
Well, it's a public hearing.
It's a
Well, I'll wait 2 weeks.
right.
Yeah.
Nobody
Are there any
passed?
public comments? All right.
I'll come out the landfill, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
My name is James Schroeder.
I live in Shrewsbury Farm at 125 Grace Pond Lane. I've lived there for a couple of years now, and the potential site for it that's back off behind our house, you can kind of see a little bit when in the winter when the foliage is off the trees. You can see and hear stuff as it is. So I'm definitely not in favor of that location at any point. One. I know we're grandfathered in, but they would never have put wells that close to a landfill, and we all have wells in that community, so that's number one. Number two, don't want the sightly smells and the unsightly view of the height of it and the noise and all that comes with it, on top of just nobody wants it. At least I wouldn't think here in our town of Centerville. We already have traffic on, mornings and evenings, just rush hour traffic. Now you want to put dump trucks coming through and the infrastructure for it all. I'm just totally against it, and I would encourage you all to try to find another option, kick the can further down the road if possible, or to Talbot County, or maybe somewhere on 50 or 301 that has better access and can handle the infrastructure and all the traffic and what comes with all the dump trucks and everything that goes with that, and that it's not in someone's backyard like ours. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Hello.
You can lower that if you want.
I can, okay.
There you go.
A little shorter than them. Hello, my name is Laura Schroeder. My address is 125 Grays Pond Lane, Centerville, Maryland. So this is my testimony in response to the Queen Anne County's draft Comprehensive Solid Waste Management Plan, 2026 through 2035. For the record, I'd like to state my objection to the exclusion of the detailed procedures for siting new solid waste. It's been in existence for at least 22 years. Since at least 2004, has been expanded and remains relevant. So that's the big part. And then the rest of my comments are related to page 98 of the plan, item 2, and are related to the siting of Midshore Regional Solid Waste Facility, or Midshore 3. So while Queen Anne County purchased the 124-acre farm adjacent to the Centerville Drop-Off Center, Harper Road, 30-plus years ago, that was regardless of any complete evaluation by the Maryland Environmental Services for use as Midshore 3. So the site is not suitable for use as a solid waste management facility. While the siting criteria for new solid waste management facilities have not been carried forward to the plan from the past two plans, it's instructive. I might run out of time, I'll speed up. The Harper's Road site is not feasible because, among other things, proximity to houses, like my husband mentioned, and potable animal and human wells, inaccessibility to distance from highways, and poor safety conditions due to insufficient county and town of Centerville feeder road systems and structures. We don't have anything that would accommodate large-scale truck traffic, and including no way to avoid left turns across oncoming traffic. I know that can be very dangerous, as we've had several recent accidents. And environmental factors, including the presence of substantial wetlands on the site's non-conducive layout, there's a stream running through it, there's a large pond, making the footprint inadequate in size, especially by the year 2032, projecting out 20 years. And even with using today's number, the trash mound at Harper Road was expected to be as high as the bottom of the road surface on the Bay Bridge. So sports teams that come here to play at White Marsh for tournaments, would they be able to see it, smell it, probably hear it from White Marsh? And those traveling along Route 213, the major thoroughway, a scenic highway, would see it and smell it as well. So it's just not a great place for Centerville to put that. I guess I'll go to the end. The permit process for Harper Road is on hold because the county is in good faith working to locate and designate a different site for Midshore 3 as permitted by the amended and restated Memorandum of Understanding. So I appreciate the county's willingness to work to locate and designate a different site for Midshore 3 and appreciate the opportunity to participate in the process. While we know it will be difficult, it's necessary and must be done by December 31st, 2028. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
We're going to go ahead and close press and public comment and hold this open for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioners, we have our second public hearing. It is 5:50, so this is County Ordinance Number 2512. This is for growth allocation in the Resource Conservation Area, and this is growth allocation non-adjacency standard text amendment for the Gunston School. So Mr. Thompson has the public notice. I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you. This is a hearing being held by the County Commissioner of Queen Anne's County, Tuesday, April 14th, 5:45 p.m. in the County Commissioner Meeting Room, Liberty Building, 107 North Liberty Street. The purpose of the hearing is to receive public comments on County Ordinance Number 2512, a bill entitled An Act Concerning Youth and Growth Allocation in Resource Conservation Areas of Queen Anne's County, for the purpose of amending growth allocation standards in the Chesapeake Bay critical area to allow for the award of growth allocation within the resource conservation area non-adjacent to an existing limited development area or intentionally development area for the expansion of current nonprofit institutional uses as of June 29, 1988, that provides secondary education or is used as a youth camp lawfully existing as of the date of enactment of this amendment, providing a definition of secondary education, including specific conditions limiting such award of growth allocation to no more than 150 acres, and generally dealing with and revising the growth allocation standards within the Chesapeake Bay critical area in Queen Anne's County. Copies of the ordinance have been available at the County Commissioner's office prior to hearing and online at the county website. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each. Individuals' written testimony of any length may be submitted on before the hearing date to the County Commissioner's office. All hearing sites are accessible to individuals with disabilities. Sign language interpreters and assistive listening systems are available. Part of the record of this proceeding will be a certificate of publication indicating that notice was published in the Bay Times, Record Observer, and a letter to the Critical Area Commission dated December 9, 2025. I've got a couple people signed up. Ryan Showalter.
Good evening. Ryan Showalter, 100 Northwest Street, Easton. I'm appearing on behalf of the Gunston School this evening. John Lewis, the head of school, would like to be here. He was committed to a Board of Trustees meeting this evening, so I'm here in his place. But I think the title of the ordinance covers almost all of the substance of the ordinance. It's a short and very discreet change. As you may know, growth allocation generally has a standard that requires the award of new growth allocation be located within an existing limited development area or adjacent to an LDA or IDA. The Gunston School is surrounded by RCA land. It's been in use for essentially, for decades, long before the critical area laws were established. It has improvements, parking lots, buildings, sidewalks that exceed lot coverage standards on some of the parcels, and they have plans to expand their facilities. So we need growth allocation to both address the compliance of the current facility and to provide for additional improvements. But the county is not in a position to award growth allocation because it's not adjacent to an existing LDA or IDA. The county created an exception to that adjacency standard once before for the standalone emergency room in Graysonville. That required growth allocation and was all RCA, so your code already has a non-adjacency exception. This adds a second exception, and it's limited to secondary education facilities and youth camps. And so we worked with the county staff on this concept. This is essentially a revision that was going to be brought forward by the staff as part of the comprehensive county critical area program update. Gunston needs it sooner than that update was proceeding. So we applied for this text amendment to advance this. The Planning Commission reviewed this text amendment and issued a favorable recommendation. It then went to the Critical Area Commission and received favorable recommendations from both the Critical Areas Commission's Program Subcommittee as well as the full commission. So we appreciate your support and would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. What are you looking to add to it?
I'm sorry?
What are you looking to build on it? Just out of curiosity?
So additional parking area and then additional academic buildings.
Science or?
Yes. Science. Longer term, there's also plans for some additional athletic facilities and then general hardscape, sidewalks connecting the buildings, all of which are lot coverage that require that LDA or IDA designation.
Joe Stevens.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Joe Stevens, Centerville, Maryland. I represent the Hole in the Wall gang camps, which has acquired the Aspen Institute a couple of years ago, as you know, and the Hole in the Wall gang camps has renovated the former Houghton House down there, and will be beginning this summer with their programs. You're familiar with them, I believe. That's the camp facility that provides for a camp experience for seriously ill children. They also provide medical facilities right there and so on. When this amendment was proposed, and I had reviewed it, I considered that it would also apply to the Hole in the Wall gang camps because they'll be coming in for growth allocation at some time to go to their phase 2, create infirmaries, create cafeterias, create dormitories, rooms, so on and so forth, recreational facilities for the kids. And they'll be using growth allocation. The way that it had been drafted was a bit unclear whether this adjacency, because as you know, the former Aspen Institute isn't adjacent to any IDA or LDA, would have applied. And it was the intent, I believe, from talking to the planning office, that the Hole in the Wall gang camps would be included. So when we went to Planning Commission, we suggested on behalf of Hole in the Wall gang camps a couple of amendments, minor amendments to it, which you see bolded in that text. And the Planning Commission, with the consent of the applicant, Ryan, included those provisions. They clarified that this would also apply, this adjacency deviation would also apply to the Hole in the Wall gang camps. And so we're pleased with it. We support it as probably being the only other entity, maybe there's a couple others, but it's only going to apply to educational and youth camps. So it will allow for this youth camp to expand, seek growth allocation, and be before you for what we consider a pretty important use. So we encourage you to act favorably. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any public comment with respect to County Ordinance 2512?
We'll go ahead and close it, and hold it for 2 more weeks.
No, I'm going to make a motion.
Why?
Why not?
Because we normally hold them open for 2 weeks. If you want to make a motion, go ahead.
But we had already talked about this. Wait, we should follow the rules.
Okay.
My apologies.
All right, is it?
Is it?
Okay, so
2 weeks.
break it up to, okay, all right, thank you. All right, Commissioners, item number 3 and 4 in your books, also tab 7. Item 3 is on page 9 and 10. This is amendment number 1 to County Ordinance number 2601. This is for red light cameras, and this amendment can be introduced and voted on, and this basically sunsets County Ordinance number 2601, which is for the implementation of red light cameras in Queen Anne's County. So the sunset provision would sunset this particular ordinance on July 31st, 2028. So item 3 is the amendment that was discussed last meeting, and then item 4 is the original ordinance that can be voted on as amended if you so choose.
I'll make a motion to adopt the amendment number 1 to County Ordinance 2601.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I mean, it's, my whole thing was, and I think I stated it last meeting, but I'll state it again, is that a lot of these things, when it comes to fees and taxes, one of the things people get mad about and what you see every year is something comes up 10 years from now and people wonder where it came from. Well, I don't want anybody to wonder where this came from. In 2 years, we look at it, if the whole concept of people aren't speeding anymore and they're not running red lights, then we don't need it anymore. And that's the only reason I put this amendment out there, so. It'll force the commissioners to do their job and look at these things.
I want more time to study it, but go ahead, let's vote.
Okay, we have a motion. We don't have,
Amendment, yeah.
and we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
He's a yes. Patrick's a no.
4-1.
4-1. All righty.
I'll make a motion to pass County Ordinance 2601 as amended.
Second?
We have a motion and a second on 2601. Any further discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
He's 4-1. There's a delay, so.
Just put your thumb up, Chris.
Yep. Okay.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Likewise, items 5 and 6 are together as well. Item number 5 on pages 14 is amendment number 1 to County Ordinance 2602. And this is for speed monitoring systems within school zones. The first amendment, number 1, is the same sunset provision of July 31st, 2028. And then item 6 on pages 15 through 17 is the County Ordinance 2602 for speed monitoring systems for school zones only. Applicable Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and so that they are available for decisions tonight as well.
Make a motion to, for Amendment 1 to be adopted for Ordinance 2602.
Second?
So you introduced it, and you're making a motion to approve it, correct?
Well, add the amendment.
as-
Add in the amendment.
Correct. That's what I'm
Add
saying.
the amendment.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes. If we can, I would like to put in the amendment that this is only for schools. I know you're going to tell me it's only for schools, but at any time, the state can change it and you can put it everywhere on every corner. So I would just like that to be put in there, that it's only specifically for schools, regardless of whether the state changes the law, and they will at some point.
Okay,
Well, this
first
is
off,
this is the count, hold on, to clarify, this is the county ordinance, so the state can't change this. We would have to then adopt the state's new law. They can't supersede this. So, because it says only school
It's a
zones.
simple sentence.
I'm not in favor of that in my
well,
amendment.
first off, okay, Patrick, you need to make a motion.
Actually, it has to be in writing. If you're gonna propose an amendment
Right.
to an ordinance, it has to be in writing.
So I'm willing to hold it over if you want to put another amendment
I
forward.
would like to do that.
That's fine with me.
No problem?
No problem with it, yeah.
Okay, so we'll hold amendment number 1 for County Ordinance 2602.
And then we'll table 2602 for now.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, did we table, you tabled the?
Yeah, the amendment's
the,
tabled right now.
The amendment is tabled, okay.
Right, which means the ordinance is tabled.
Okay. Yep.
So that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
To be continued next meeting, all right. All right, Commissioners, moving on. Item number 7 is on pages 18 through 20. This is from a previous hearing for the 2011 Comprehensive Water and Sewer Plan. This is Amendment 1126. This is submitted on on behalf of the town of Centerville. They were requesting a text amendment to revise or replace the current requirement on the ownership of lands used to spray, irrigate treated wastewater effluent. Currently, the plan requires the land used by a government for effluent disposal to be owned in fee simple, and the town has requested that this provision be modified or replaced to allow for spray on leased agricultural land and, where appropriate, public open space, passive parklands, etc. So those are that is the purpose of the amendment. And we have Mr. Alan Quimby here, Director of Public Works. If you have any questions, I think the town of Centerville has some representatives here as well if there's any questions for the town. This is available for.
Give us your
decision.
elevator speech. What you got?
I think you should approve the amendment for the lease portion, and both portions, because as far as the county lands, which is the only landowner impacted, they're still gonna have to come back before an agreement, so approving the allowance of parkland is just like the first step. So you've got a whole nother agreement that you'd have to map out with the county, so I don't see any harm in that. I do think the lease option, while it has some potential pitfalls, I admire the fact that they're trying every avenue to keep the new effluent out of the Corsica River. I think that's the best solution. And frankly, MDE has the right to veto it anyway, so let them be the bad guys.
So I guess the bigger question is, I remember when we had when you guys came in, I guess almost a year and a half ago now, and they had the discussion that even with the spray fields, though, you still had that deadband time frame where you wouldn't be able to flow at the higher rate because of the temperatures.
During the winter.
Is that still?
Yeah, I'm sure they will not be able to just groundwater discharge in the winter. So yeah, you probably would see some increase in the winter, but not in the summer,
Right.
which is when the biologics is more prevalent, the damage could be more prevalent.
So you figure this will get you past the MDE for that flow, or is this just like a first step to try to get
This
there?
is the very first step.
Very first step, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because even if MDE doesn't deny the amendment, because they always have veto power over these amendments, they still have to go back and get a discharge permit once they identify a farm
Gotcha.
or field or whatever.
Okay.
Is leasing still in the option for you?
Yes,
Very much so, versus purchase?
yeah, we have been unsuccessful with purchasing, so.
Break the bank.
Okay,
So you need a motion, right?
yep, we need a motion.
Where was that one?
The third one down?
Did you find it?
Well, the other issue is whether the county gets to review the lease or review and approve the lease. So that's your call. So one of the top two.
I think it's number 2. We should be a part of the approval process anyway.
Approval of the lease
Of the lease. You guys are good with that,
or
right?
review of the lease?
Review at least, I mean. Yeah. Yeah.
We're okay if the county wants to review the lease. We would prefer the county not be an approval process.
Right. No,
of the
I
lease.
meant review.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so that's motion number 1,
I
right?
don't have it in front of me. You got it.
That would be number 1
Yeah.
on both of those, yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I move to approve the amendment allowing the use of long-term leases to secure lands to allow for the disposal of treated wastewater spray effluent on the condition that the county review the term of the lease.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved, 5-0.
Then you need a motion on the Parks one, too, please.
You want to roll, Phil?
Number 1,
Yeah, the first one
To
there.
review.
Yeah, yep. But it doesn't say review.
This one.
Well, they'll have to come back for another agreement anyways.
All right.
Because it's the parks.
Yeah.
All right, I move to approve the amendment to allow the use of passive parklands for the disposal of treated wastewater spray effluent.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved, 5-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, Commissioners, we're a little ahead of schedule, which is good. So next we have item 8 in your books on pages 21 and 22. This is the annual tax set-off hearing with our incorporated towns. We have a lot of our incorporated town representatives here with us this evening. So the Commissioners are required to provide for tax offsets for the municipal governments in the county. 2 options are available for the determination of the tax set-off: a tax differential rate or a direct payment, aid payment to the town. For FY27, we have a list of proposals for the following tax differentials for each of the towns, and that were reviewed and agreed to at a recent Council of Governments meeting on July the 14th. So do you want to call each of the towns up
Well, we have,
in order?
are we going from, well, let's just start. Barclay?
Yep, come on up, yep.
You didn't bring that, you didn't bring that big, you didn't bring that big check with you?
I could have, trust
Oh,
me.
yes.
It's in my bedroom.
There you go.
Good evening, Commissioner Stephanie, Todd, how are you?
Good.
Great,
Nice to
doing
see
great.
everybody. Working on our budget, we've had to increase some things this year, so a tax set-off, every little bit helps. You know, we did get this $1,044,000, but it's earmarked for our building. It's so exciting. I guess you could say I work for $1 million town now.
There you go.
I was gonna retire at the end of the year, but I've got to see some of this through.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
But it's very exciting for the town. There's a lot of morale. Things are moving anyway. We have this, the sewer system in, and it's running smoothly, so we have a lot of interest in the town anyway.
Good. That sounds great. Sounds great.
about it for
How's the
me.
planning going for the building? Is it underway?
No, we have to have a feasibility study done. We're literally
studies.
starting from the ground up. So we don't even know where we're gonna put it yet. We have a couple parcels that we own, but, we like that little building there in the corner. That's kind of an icon. So, but thank you for attending. Commissioner Corcorino attended as well.
Yeah, he's up on the big screen.
He's up on the big screen.
Jack's always supported us at the
Yeah.
COG meetings, and Todd. So,
We have a
Thank
bunch
you.
of gold
Busy
shovels
intersection.
too when you're ready, so let us know when
Yes,
you're ready.
yes, that'll
That's
be
it.
next. That'll be
Well, thank you.
next.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Nice to see you.
All right, thank you, Virginia. So we have an aid payment for Barclay in the amount of $22,183.
Sounds good.
And we'll go
Got $1
Center,
million, Todd. That
That's chump change.
Centerville.
Don't leave that on the desk for a while.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good.
Long time no see.
I know. So I believe with Centerville, the county's tax rate is reduced by 13.
13 cents.
Yes, for our residents, so.
I remembered. I said, why I remembered that, I don't know.
I'm glad you did, because I forgot what the rate was.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
So you guys are good then?
Yeah.
Good, good.
Well, thank you then.
Thank
You
you.
didn't have far to go though, right?
No.
There you go.
Walk down the street.
Across the street. Churchill.
Tell somebody, there he is.
Good evening,
sir.
All right, John Paul.
VP Griffin for the town of Churchill. Thank you guys for having me, or giving me the opportunity to speak. Back in January at the COG meeting, the proposed amount of the aid payment, we discussed, and it would be very helpful. It's going to account for about 12% of our overall general budget for this year. So it will definitely be a big help for us, and we'll use it wisely.
And that, your number's the same as mine, number $78,416.
That's correct, sir.
There you go. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
Yep, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, JP.
The town of Millington. All right, there's no one from Millington. Their differential rate is .085 per 100. Queen Anne.
Nobody here.
$5,532 in aid payment. Queenstown.
Here, here.
Hello,
Hey.
Hello.
me again. It's always a pleasure to be here. First of all, I'd like to thank you for my other hat, which is the Reads Across America program. And I'd like to thank you for your ongoing support and participation. It's really a wonderful day. I would invite you all to come on that day because it's really spectacular to see every veteran's grave have its own individual wreath. When this program first began, we had one for every 6 graves, and I don't know, I didn't feel empowered to be the person to say this veteran doesn't get one. So I'd like to thank you for that. Now I'll put my Queenstown hat on, and it's been a really a bittersweet year for us because we lost our long-term commissioner, Tommy Willis. He's also my neighbor, and so the town really feels the loss of knowledge and legacy and camaraderie and just a way of bridging between people who have been in Queenstown for multiple generations and someone that just walked into town and doesn't realize why they have to put their dog on a leash. So sometimes that talent is missed. So we're trying to bridge this. We have a new commissioner who has jumped in, and he isn't going to have a honeymoon period because the issues in front of us are large and substantial. So he's going to go do the budget, and I'm going to try to explain to him what the county tax offset is next week. So I'm glad to be coming out of this meeting with some tangible things to talk about. I always make a plea for more money for parks. We do have 3 facilities in Queenstown. They are used extensively by non-Queenstown residents. We have 2 docks, and they're not exclusive to Queenstown. So we have a lot of watermen who rent the docks in Queenstown and use our services, and they're not Queenstown residents, so we don't derive revenue from them. We have a community park where on the day before Easter Sunday, our bunny had 120 people, children. Now, we don't have 120 people in Queenstown, so I don't know if we have 120 adults. So, that facility is used repeatedly for other things. So I make this plea every year and if you have any wiggle room there, I'd make a plea for Queenstown.
I hear you. Yeah.
My third thing is we're having the 250th anniversary this year. I'm glad you're the county seat. At one time we were the county seat. So historically there are a lot of events planned in Queenstown. I'd ask your help for fireworks funding. I don't want to compete with everybody else, but at the end of the year after Labor Day is the last fireworks of the season. And if you could be a partner with the town and help us out with fireworks funding, I would appreciate that. So,
Right, well.
I make a motion to approve.
Excuse me. I hope you have at least 120 people because you're getting $164,922.
I know.
So.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure we'll get someone to make some sort of motion here, right, Patrick? Roll on.
I'm trying to remember what we did last year.
It was a good one, go for it.
It was a good one. That doesn't help me.
Oh,
What did it begin with? I make a motion to approve $15,000 for fireworks for 2026 for July
thank you.
of this year for Queenstown.
Yours isn't in July, though, it's in September.
I wanted September.
September.
September would be fine.
We've got a motion?
Second.
Yeah, second, I agree. All right, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. 5-0 for the 15,000 for Queenstown's
Thank you.
last hurrah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know Carolyn's over there going, I need another bite at that apple. I'm watching her. She's like,
It's
hold on,
coming.
can I get back up there? I forgot all about the fireworks.
Can't miss those commissioner meetings. Right?
Sudlersville.
You already got your fireworks, right? You guys already did yours, right?
Oh, we have lots of fireworks, yes. If you'd like to give us
I'm
any more
talking-
money towards our fireworks or
real
our
fireworks.
festivals,
The
yes,
real
that
ones,
would
the
be
ones that go in the
fun.
sky and explode, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, we would certainly appreciate those. I really do need to thank you all for all the time and energy that you and the staff have put towards helping us navigate. And we're continuing to do that, but we're getting there. We have a budget next, the meeting in May. We're going to have a budget presentation, and then they'll forward, what we anticipate the budget will be. And as far as the offset money, we would just prefer that our money be put towards a balance that's due to the county as a result of the transition of the water and sewer. And we would also ask that we get some sort of an accounting for that, like what we're starting at and then how much is deducted each year so that we know the balance.
Sure.
Okay?
Yep,
So that would
appreciate
be
it.
helpful to us.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
All right?
Well, this year's will be $55,408.
That's correct. Yes.
So, very good. It's good to see you. Thank
Nice
you for
to see you
coming.
as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for straightening it out.
We're not there yet. So we are a work in progress.
Templeville. Nope. I was trying to think the last time Templeville was even,
I've never met anybody from Templeville.
well, there were $1,839 in aid payment. All right, and now we need a motion.
I move to set the differential rates and aid payments amounts for and to the municipalities for fiscal year 2027 as shown in the attached schedule.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. So moved, 5-0.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. That takes care of all the legislative items for this evening. We can move into the presentations portion of the agenda, so if you want to flip over to tab number 6. First up, we have Mindy Ray, Character Counts Coordinator, for an update for Character Counts. No presentation this evening, so come on up, Mindy. Yeah.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Hello.
First of all, yesterday was my 3rd year in this position. So I want to thank you guys again for
Well
trusting me
done.
with it because I absolutely love it. I'm enjoying every second of it. So I want to give you our quarterly update. In March, we actually planned a pretty big campaign, which is the first time we've done anything like that, based on digital responsibility. So we called it Click with Character. It was all over our social media. We had lessons for our coaches. They presented them to all the elementary school students. The middle school students got lessons. There were parent brochures about how to keep their kids safe online. We had posters in all the schools. It went over really, really well. We even did 2 presentations. I did 2 presentations, one at Foxtown and one at Terrapin for our senior community on digital scams and how they can, tips on how they could protect themselves. So we did like a whole blast last month, which was really successful. So we hope to do more of things like that. School-wise, we are getting ready for the end of the year. We've had another really great year. It's the 3rd year in a row that we've had 100% of our K-5 classrooms matched with a volunteer. They've all had coaches, which is really exciting. We are looking forward to the field days, and the end of year surveys will go out soon. Those go out to the teachers, they go out to our coaches, and we send them out to 3rd through 4th and 5th graders. So we can kind of get a feel on the impact that we're making. Last year, the responding teachers, 95% told us that there was a positive impact by having our coaches in their classroom. So that is something we're hoping to kind of match again. Something I did last year that I'm hoping to do again this year is I did focus groups with fifth graders, those kids who've had character counts now for 5 years, before they go off to middle school, to kind of get their feedback from the student perspective. So we're hoping to do that again, because I really enjoyed talking to the kids. As a former fifth grade teacher, sitting down with fifth graders is a lot of fun for me. So we're hoping to do that again as well. Switching focus to next year, obviously I'm pushing for volunteers as always, so anyone in the community that is interested in volunteering, or anybody in front of me, it's a lot of fun. The commitment is just an hour a month. It's 20 minutes in a classroom twice a month, and I'll give you all the lessons. So anybody who is looking for something fun to do and spend some time with some really great kids, reach out to me, because I'm happy to get you in a classroom. I am working on some new curriculum for next year. I just finished writing a series of 10 children's books geared through kindergarten through second grade. We're calling it the Character Corner Crew. And each book focuses on a different pillar, and there are going to be lessons that go with it. So those kids, when the coaches use those, will get to follow the same characters throughout the year and learn the lessons through the characters, which is really exciting. Thank you, Canva, for illustrating and printing my books. I don't say I'm published author, I'm a printed author, because I just printed it myself. But we're really excited about them. They're very cute. I'm also going to be working on some new lessons for our 4th and 5th graders. It's no secret our students are suffering from some mental health issues this year. And so we, as character counts, we kind of want to maintain our role and know our place, but we feel like we have a position where we can be in and talk to kids about self-esteem and just their own self-worth and things like that. So some of my 4th and 5th grade lessons are going to be geared towards that and really helping kids just through the pillars of character. Recognize that, they're pretty good. We've got some great kids in our county. So that's my hope for that. As always, please follow us on our Facebook and our Instagram. We are doing monthly focuses. This month is trustworthiness, so you'll see our Trust Grows Here Community Challenge, where we're reflecting on what trust and honesty looks like within the community. And then Truth Bomb Tuesdays, which are always fun little just tidbits about telling the truth. In May, we're going to do, which is our month of caring, we're going to be doing Caring in Action. So each week we will highlight different roles in our community and the ways that they show care for our community. So look for those and share them. And in addition to looking for volunteers for next year, we're always looking for new members for our advisory council. We meet like every other month, and it's really great for me because I'm the only one who does character counts in the county. I'm the only one who runs all of it. We had 112 volunteers I managed this year, so that's a lot of work. So when I can pick other people's brains and get feedback on what we're doing or ideas that directions they think we should take, that's always beneficial to me. So anybody who would love to sit on our advisory council, I welcome everyone.
And how do they get a hold of you to do that?
You can reach out through our website, which is www.peopleofcharacter.org, or you can email me. It's really simple. It's mray@qac.org. Very simple.
Very good.
But we're doing great. So thank you guys for your time. I'll see you in 3 months.
Have you been involved in any of the meetings the last few weeks about the mental health?
Here? Oh,
To school?
some. So I sit on the safety net committee.
Okay.
With at the Board of Ed. So we actually meet tomorrow morning. So I'm hoping to get an update on what's going on there because
At 10 o'clock?
yeah, sits on my heart. So
Yeah.
yep. So I'll be at that.
Great.
Thank you guys.
Good job, thank you.
All right. All right, Commissioners, next up, we have our feature presentation for this evening. We have item number 2 under presentations, tab 6, pages 2 through 19, also up on the big screen. This is the Moratorium Task Force update. This is an interim update that is from the established Moratorium Task Force on their research activities and the preliminary recommendations concerning Resolution 2512, which expires in August of this year, August 12th. The evaluation is intended to target long-term strategies of the implementing policies and plans to best manage the remaining sewer capacity and to evaluate school capacities with the KNS&G wastewater service area. Public Facilities Manager Steve Cahoon is going to lead the presentation here this evening. We also have a distinguished cast of characters here that are with us tonight from our Department of Public Works, Director Alan Quimby and Matt Lucas, the Chief Sanitary Engineer from Planning and Zoning. We have Amy Mordock Also participating on the committee was Stephanie Jones and Rob Gunther. Economic Development and Tourism, we have Director Heather Tonelli. From our Board of Education, we have Daryl Barricklow. He's been participating on the committee. Also from Community Affairs, Beth Molaski, and did I miss anybody? And Patrick Thompson from County Administration, and yours truly as well. So we've been putting a lot of time into this presentation and evaluation of this these charters. So I will turn it over to Steve, and anybody else that wants to come on up as part of the committee can certainly do that if they like, or they can stay there and.
Bueller, anyone?
Looks like they're hanging you out to dry.
No, they're here to answer all the questions.
Any questions?
I will not answer any
Again,
questions.
this is a interim update. You know, we are looking for some feedback on some of the preliminary ideas. I think primarily we want to make sure that the allocations that we have are going to see us well into the future. You know, we have a limited amount. We want to stay open for business as well. For commercial development, we want to address our public health areas in the county, and we want to also evaluate other ordinances for public school capacities and our APFO going forward. So we have a lot of information here, and so you can digest that and give us any feedback that you want. So I'll turn it over to Steve.
All right, thank you very much for having us here this evening. And as you know, the purpose of this presentation is to review the moratorium objectives, why the county went into a moratorium, provide an update on task force activities, share updates to the county water and sewer plan with the commissioners, present proposed allocation policy changes for your consideration. These are just work that the task force has been looking at to provide you some ideas for your feedback. And then we want feedback from the commissioners either tonight or as we move forward. This is just the first presentation. This is a first update, and we'll be bringing more materials to you in the months to come while the moratorium is still in place. The moratorium, Resolution 2512, was enacted August 12, 2025, and it applies to all major residential developments. So major residential being projects that need more than 1,750 gallons, more than 7 units. And this is a temporary pause so that we could look at the sewer allocation policy, look at how much sewer allocation we have remaining, and come up with a new sewer allocation policy, and in the same time review the comprehensive water and sewer plan, and get that updated and adopted. And also, the resolution for the moratorium raised concerns about the school capacity, specifically at Ken Island High School, which is at 100% of state-rated capacity now. The moratorium resolution raised traffic concerns in the southern part of the county on Ken Island. It also made comments on the Bay Crossing study, which is in process, which has some uncertainty as to the outcome when the resolution was adopted. And then there's been talk about the re-rating of the sewer treatment plant. We have a 3 million gallon a day sewer treatment plant, and we're asked that it be re-rated to 3.3 million gallons through MDE. And we've applied for that. They've held a hearing on that, but we have not yet received that actual permit for the re-rating of the plant. So that's in process. The task force, as Todd went through, is made up of representatives from Public Works, Planning and Zoning, County Administration, Community Affairs, Economic Development, and the Board of Education. We've held 4 meetings to date and had a lot of other additional conversations related to the moratorium. And the task force is really looking at how to manage. The biggest issue is the limited amount of sewer capacity that we have, and how can we best manage that moving forward so that we don't run out and end up in a sewer moratorium right away. How can we ration out sewer over time? So we have a limited supply, and we're going to talk to you about how one option on rationing out that limited supply of sewer allocation. We also talked about, are there ways we can limit demand for sewer? You'll recall when the 2022 comprehensive plan was adopted, we actually downsized the growth areas as a result of the limits on sewer allocation to limit some of the demand. There's also recommendations in the comp plan about looking at zoning districts and consolidating some zoning districts, and there might be some opportunities there to limit demand for future sewer requests. Also looking at creating new capacity. We have a sewer treatment plan. Are there options to increase capacity beyond the re-rating? That was something that the task force looked at and discussed, and there's really no practicable way to get additional sewer allocation. The different alternatives that may be out there really don't fit with the location of our sewer treatment plant, and we don't see a reasonable way that we can get additional sewer capacity at this point in time. And as you recall, we're capped not by the size of the plant, but by the pollutant discharge that comes out of the plant. With the pollutant discharge being the cap, that's the constraint. We can't just build a bigger plant and build our way out of this situation.
I know you asked for 300,000 more. How much do we have left when you take?
Good question. We'll have that in the three more slides. So this is the Graysonville Sewer Service Area. The green is the existing service area, to give you an idea of how built out our growth areas are. Our growth areas pretty much follow our sewer service areas. The sewer service area maps here show green as the areas served with sewer. The tan or color is S2, which means that it has pending sewer or sewers available at those locations. And then the purple color, S3, is more of a long range, and the properties are not currently served. It's more of long range, and they do not have sewer at those sites. So if we look at, this is the Graysonville area. We look at the Kent Narrows, Chester, part of Stevensville. As you can see, the vast majority of the sewer service area shows up in green. It has sewer service, it has sewer accounts, there are connections, and most of our growth areas are built out, and we have few tracts, large vacant tracts of land for future residential development. There's Stevensville as well. So one of the goals of the moratorium was to update the comprehensive water and sewer plan, and that's in process, and a draft of the comprehensive water and sewer plan will be coming to the county commissioners fairly soon. The new water and sewer plan will have all the amendments like you just considered. All the previous amendments are wrapped into the new water and sewer plan. It meets all the requirements from Maryland Department of the Environment, and it's also consistent with the 2022 comprehensive plan. So the comprehensive water and sewer plan has to go through several steps to get approval. It has to go to the Planning Commission, the county commissioners, and both bodies will review and hold public meetings or public hearings on the plan. We expect that to begin in June. June is likely the draft comprehensive water and sewer plan will be in front of the Planning Commission, and then to the county commissioners in July, and it'll be adopted near the end or right after the end of the moratorium in August. So, to your question, Commissioner, we currently have a 3 million gallon a day plant. The plant has approximately 150,000 gallons of capacity remaining. The existing flows plus the sewer allocation that's reserved for other projects totals about 2.85 million gallons of that plant. So with the 150,000 gallons remaining, the task force is recommending that 50,000 gallons per day be set aside for residential, 22,500 gallons per day be set aside for commercial, and that's an existing set aside for commercial. That was a previous decision made by the commissioners. And then we have 77,500 gallons per day set aside as a climate resiliency buffer or wet weather buffer. When we get rain and heavy downpours and water gets into the sewer system, our flows go up. This provides a buffer for those types of situations and instances. And then administrative allocations continue to be granted up to the 1,750 gallons per day. That's an existing practice, and it'll continue. So that's what we have currently out of the 3 million gallons. With the re-rating, we get an additional 300,000 gallons per day. But we also recognize that there's no ability for plant expansion. This is it for the foreseeable future and beyond at this point. So what the task force was recommending is that that we take a look at the 300,000 gallons and put it in categories as we discussed with the existing amounts, with 125,000 gallons per day going to Marlin Farms and Dominion. We want to reserve that capacity, or recommend that capacity be reserved so that we can go down there and fix failing septic systems in those areas. We also recommend that an additional 25,000 gallons per day be set aside for other areas that may have unidentified failing septic systems. So the 125 should be adequate to take care of Marlin Farms and Dominion, but if there are other areas that we need to address, we think we should reserve capacity for that. We recommend 50,000 gallons per day, a reservation for commercial, institutional, and government uses. And to put that in perspective, over the last 15 years, we've allocated 71,000 gallons of sewer for commercial uses. So it's a fair amount of sewer for commercial uses, but we believe it ought to be reserved in that category so it's not consumed by residential.
And of that 71,000, 2 projects consumed about over a third of it. So if you take out the 2 projects, one of which is Ken Island Crossing, which has not broken ground yet, the other one being John Wilson's hotel complex on Pier 1, that was like 20-some thousand. So honestly, if you took those 2 big out, the amount of allocated to commercial over the last 15 years is not much. It's just the demand's just not there.
Well, you don't have any commercial businesses that are using processes that would require it. Most of your stuff's just a walk-in bathroom here.
Absolutely, true.
Yep. Hey, so I wonder if it would help the public if you explained why there's allocation. Why is it 300,000? Why does every different sewage treatment plant have limitations on it? What's the purpose of it? Make sense?
Sure.
It makes sense to me.
No.
Alan, sure. Perfect sense to Alan.
He left you hanging for a couple seconds there.
I mean, 'cause we mentioned that we're going to get re-rated and we're going to pick up this little bit, but what holds us back from picking up even more? And I guess I'm trying to throw a softball here, but you're not.
Clean Water Act, which was adopted in 1972, one of the provisions was called total maximum daily loads. And what that does is the scientist somewhere figures out how many pounds of nitrogen can go into a receiving body, how many pounds of phosphorus can go into a receiving body, how many pounds of sediment can go to a receiving body and not impact it negatively. So in our case, they decided we are allowed 36,547 pounds of nitrogen to discharge in the bay forever. No matter what we flow, that's the most that we can put out there. So we were at 3 million gallons, we had the 36,547 pounds of nitrogen. That allowed us to have an average concentration of 4 milligrams per liter of nitrogen going into the bay, up to the 3 million. When we re-rated the plant, we got 10% more volume, but we did not get any more nitrogen. So now our maximum limit is 3.6 milligrams per liter, which we felt comfortable we can meet. So, yeah, nitrogen is the constraining factor. I named 3, but nitrogen is the constraining factor. All plants have this issue. It's just that we hit that wall sooner than the other ones.
So we can't get any more allocation. Once this is done, And this is all due to,
Federal regulations.
right, the EPA saying how much pollution can go into the bay and,
And it stays healthy, relatively healthy.
right, and that, this whole TMDL spans anywhere the Chesapeake Bay watershed is.
Yes. Federal, it's federal.
We're talking Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia. I think even West Virginia's included in it, if I'm not mistaken.
It's federal. I mean, yeah, you're talking about the Bay watershed, but Puget Sound has a TMDL as well in Washington State.
But we are the first that have come up against.
In this region that I'm aware of, yes.
We're the
For the
first.
nitrogen, we are for sure.
Yeah. All right, I mean, I think the public doesn't understand some of this, and that's why there isn't a bottomless bucket here. It's
Not an infinite supply of
correct,
allocation.
right. So we're just trying to do balance how much allocation we give to which group and hope that it's a good mix for the entire community. So, sorry to interrupt you.
No. It brings up the good point. Many years ago, we dealt with this with the septic bill. They changed the regulations on how much nitrogen or how many septic systems could be installed, which all the jurisdictions in the state had to respond to, and they had to adjust their growth management programs. So the septic bill, reducing the number of septic systems that could go in the ground, was a nitrogen cap, if you will. And they did the same thing with the sewer treatment plants. Now they put a cap on the nitrogen that can be discharged. So the septic bill, as well as how they're regulating the sewer plants, end up being a bay cleanup initiative. But what it ends up doing is capping the nitrogen, and we have to work within those limits.
And speaking of, bay cleanup and the TMDLs, I mean, the Southern Ken Island project, we have our pollution diet in Queen Anne's County on how much nitrogen and phosphorus and sediments that we're allowed to get into the bay. In that project, your Southern Ken Island project, as my understanding, is taking care of almost 60% of our nitrogen reduction that we need, give or take.
I'm not big, don't know much about the WIP program. That's what you're referring to.
Right,
So I
yeah.
can't help you with that one.
Okay, very good.
State don't know about the WIP program, Jim?
Who?
The state still don't know what the WIP program is.
Well, they said we'd have your reduction numbers by 2025.
No.
2025.
2022, they were supposed to give us our
Their numbers,
goal,
and then you
but
were
we've
supposed to
yet
hit
see
that
it.
by 2025.
Right,
Yeah.
but we've yet to see that number.
To your point, Southern Ken Island Sanitary Sewer Project is one of the biggest bay cleanup projects in the state.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It gave us like 80,000 WIP credits. For some reason, that sticks in my head as WIP credits.
And
we
for the
got
folks
for that.
listening, the WIP is a watershed implementation plan, which everybody in the Chesapeake jurisdiction had to come up with a plan to hit those reduction numbers.
Let me,
Okay, so
I can add one more thing. The
can I-
TMDL only applies to surface waters. If we had decent soils, we could probably irrigate
Right,
those soils. But
correct.
we have no decent soils on
Correct.
Ken Island. So then you're restricted to 10 milligrams per liter of nitrogen, because that's a drinking water limit.
Very good.
so just to follow up from the commissioner's question for the audience, if we don't get the re-rating, but even if we do and it's a year or two from now,
It's-
as it stands right now, or for the rest of the year, we have 150,000 gallons per day of the 3 million left, and of that, 50,000 is for residential. Is that correct?
So that's the recommendation of the task force, that we have 150. These are the suggested categories to put these in.
Without getting the reauthorization.
And the re-rating has gone through a significant part of the process, and we are down to, the only thing remaining is for MDE to issue the permit, and it is pretty imminent.
Yeah, they're going to issue the permit. Somebody could adjudicate it, but it will be issued.
So at 50,000 gallons for just residential for Ken Island, at 250 gallons per day, that's 200 homes, roughly.
And we're going to talk about an allocation policy that is very restrictive, that is more in the category of 40 to 50 homes a year.
Or people who want to put on additions or,
So-
an in-law suite or something like that.
If additions and in-law suites, if people are already hooked into sewer, they have the allocation to do an addition.
Right.
This really is allocation for new development and major
So
development.
about 200 homes.
So
This is actually our allocation portfolio, and those categories there are the investment.
So, so the 150 is what's remaining. We're waiting for the permit for 300,000 additional gallons. So the task force discussed how to manage this and ration it out so it's not a first come, first serve, and all the allocation would disappear very quickly, which would result in the county being into some form of a sewer moratorium for the long term. So, so we're recommending an application process for sewer allocation so that the commissioners have in front of them 4 times a year the projects requesting sewer allocation, major projects requesting sewer allocation. So right now, at any given meeting, the county commissioners could get a sewer allocation request. We're recommending that those requests be grouped and come before the county commissioners each quarter. So that would be the 4th Tuesday of January, April, July, and October. And we would recommend that that process would begin at the beginning, once the moratorium is lifted, that process would be in place. And so any project that's out there that's pending and is looking for allocation would be in front of the county commissioners in October of 2026. And then the county commissioners would have the ability to see all the applications in for allocation at one time and weigh them or consider them.
All right, so it would come to the commissioners in a batch and say, this is what is being requested. What is the criteria? Is it, again, recommendations from planning and zoning? Is that for approval? I mean, how's that, or do we just?
That's the ongoing discussion.
Okay.
Part of that, these are just recommendations for your consideration for public input. But coming up with criteria or also, you know, let me back up. We'll get to the next part. And let me go ahead and move to that, and
okay,
we'll have
all
some
right.
discussion.
All right.
So this is the recommendation that we go to quarterly requests so that projects are batched and the commissioners can consider the multiple, if there are multiple projects vying for allocation, we would know that at that time. The next part of it, part of the allocation policy would be trying to ration out the remaining sewer allocation. So if we get 100,000 gallons for residential out of the 300,000 gallons of the re-rating, we're recommending that a limit of 10,000 gallons per day be put, or 10,000 gallons of sewer a year be put in place, and the commissioners would, for residential, would be able to allocate up to 10,000 gallons every year.
So 10 years.
So that would give us 10 years of allocation.
Jim, what's our build out on the bridge right now? Are we 10 years out?
We're inside of that.
Think so?
2032, not the build out. They're going to start in 2032.
2032 and it'd be
31.
31.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 years, so 34.
To start.
To start.
No, finish, you're driving 34.
Okay.
So Steve, so backing into your other number of 50, so would you, where did the task force go with that other 50 if the re-rating, this is obviously dealing with the re-rating, did that other 50 get rolled into this 10?
Okay.
How did that?
Yeah, that's coming up, yes.
It did? Okay.
So the last bullet on this slide, if we have any remaining allocation left out of the 3 million gallons plant, we would roll that into the categories of the 3.3 million gallon of the re-rating.
Split equally, or, I mean, or
Just by
is that,
category.
you guys are gonna come up with what that number might look like?
So by category, if we have, so with the 300,000 gallon re-rating. We're recommending 100,000 gallons of that go to residential.
Over time, 10 years right now. Yeah, okay.
If there's 25,000 gallons of residential sewer capacity left at the end of the year, that would move into that category, and you'd be working with 125,000
Okay.
gallons.
Yes, there's no limit on this October's allocation amount. But that'll be the last time if you adopt this policy. Then starting January, the restrictions kick in.
Okay.
And anything that's left over, like Steve said, gets rolled into whatever pot it goes to, residential, commercial, commercial.
So for commercial, as an example, we had 22.5 in remaining of commercial allocation. Out of the 3 million gallons, we have 50,000 gallons. If nobody requests allocation in October for commercial uses, we would have 77.5 rolling.
On an average time where we don't have these larger communities being built out, what is our typical ask per year, Alan? Any idea?
10,000 would handle most of them. I mean, Aspire was a big one, obviously, but that's an outlier. I mean, it's just, and like Steve alluded to earlier, there's just not that much vacant land out there.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. So you could even go a lower rate and give you more flexibility through the next comp plan and all that if
It's trying to make sure
or leave a trigger to reevaluate it in 6 years or whatever to look at actual build out to gauge it.
this is a sewer allocation policy.
Right.
It'll be adopted as part of the comprehensive water and sewer plan, but it's a policy that these discussions will have to happen as the amount of allocation diminishes. As the amount of capacity gets limited again, these discussions will continue. The whole, a big part of this effort is to make sure we have sewer allocation for when we need it in the future. So the recommendation of a 10,000 gallon per day residential cap, an annual allotment that would be considered 4 times a year. And it would depend on what projects are coming through the system. The first quarter, you may, it all would all depend on what projects are moving through the system. But larger projects, it's going to be hard for them to secure any large amount of sewer allocation. If we're limiting it to 10,000 gallons per day.
I think there'll be some robust meetings coming up.
Yes. Well, I'm just thinking of permitting too, when you do that quarterly, if you do get a larger one, then permitting gets inundated right away because they're going to want to be shovel ready when they get their allocation, I would think. So
But these are major projects that
That's
are
what I'm
going to be
talking
going through the development review process, and they're going to be requesting allocation in order to get, their final plat signatures or final site plan signatures.
But I'm saying if you got like 6 or 7 of them bunched up and then they all get that go at one time, then poor Amy's.
No, not really, because they're going to come in as soon as they can to see whether they have a project or not, see whether they have allocation or not.
Right, but right after that, though.
No, and the way the policy is written right now is they have to go through one review for planning and zoning, and then they can request allocation. But they still got a lot of engineering to do before they start pulling building permits.
Okay.
And the goal is to manage demand over time, extend the lifespan of the remaining capacity. There was also in the moratorium resolution discussion about APFO issues, school capacity. Kent Island High School is at 100% capacity currently. And one of the issues is with the APFO that's been brought up before the commissioners and brought up many times is the student generation rates. We are going back and looking at new student generation rates, or actually current generation rates. We're working with the Board of Ed to look at the number of school kids we have in the school system, where they're located, and come up with generation rates by community and by types of communities. So we'll be presenting that information to the commissioners in the future. In policy updates for APFO. So we're going to recommend some policy updates to the APFO, which will have to come before the commissioners for approval.
So one of the things with this, though, is right now that the towns are not subject to the county's APFO, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so all the growth areas are supposed to be the towns. the county then loses control of that entire process of the schools has always been the concern. You have a community in Sudlersville getting ready to go in 250 some homes. Nowhere is that accounted for in the APFO. Those students are going to go to Sudlersville Elementary, Sudlersville Middle, and Queen Anne's County High School. I've said for a long time, we've got to start looking at a broader plan. If the state, and again, this is a state problem because they're the one that forced it on us. If the state's going to say you can only grow where you have the infrastructure, which in this case is the towns, we have to have some ability to be able to capture, because it's not fair in my mind for the citizens of Kent Island to pay for the citizens in Centerville to have kids in school. And that's ultimately, that's what you're having with no recourse back, because they all pay, they all have to go through the entire process and, you know, for the APFO and all that, but on the backside, in the towns, they can build as many homes as they want without any kind of recourse for the schools.
Correct.
Or oversight, right.
The county APFO does not apply in the towns. You're absolutely correct. The towns do pay impact fees.
Right,
towards the capital
I'm talking
sources.
strictly on the fact that they can build as many as they want, and the county as a whole is going to make up that, having to build a new school because it went unfettered, and it didn't get scrutinized the way it is if we put more homes on Kent Island.
Yes. That development could not be stopped by an APFO.
Correct.
It would move through the
That's
system.
my
and those
point, is
kids
we
would
don't
go
have anything
into
to
the school
stop that,
system.
and the state is saying you need to build there.
Yep.
And giving us no way to make sure that we don't get stuck with having to build 3-4 more schools in the next, 5-10 years of growth.
So we'll be bringing we'll have these policy discussions with the APFO, and part of it is, maybe we can come up with some ways to reach out to the towns and work with them more closely when their projects occur.
Todd was at a meeting where I brought this up at the COG meeting and brought it up to the towns, and I said, look, there's an awakening. It's got to be coming, and you guys need to be prepared for it. So they know something's got to happen with it, because again, there's no way the county would survive if all the growth went in the towns right now, from a school standpoint.
So we'll be bringing that. Updated generation rates, pre-K, as you guys know, pre-K is almost mandatory now. It wasn't in the past. We're going to start including that in our calculations differently. It's going to be required now.
Is it down to 3-year-olds or just 4
3-year-olds
right
or 4?
Yeah, or are they cutting that off?
Right now, pre-K, not what they're calling 3K.
3K, okay, all right, I just make sure.
Pre-K is mandatory, pretty much mandatory.
Right.
Or 4-year-olds.
Right, that's a pre-K. 3K is what they call 3-year-olds.
Which hasn't
also
been mandated yet.
It's income driven still.
Okay.
There's also an acknowledgement that high schools operate differently, and high school at 100% capacity has different operating things going on than, say, a middle school or an elementary school. They have dual enrollment, they have the CTE, they have kids moving around a lot different. So capacity isn't as rigid in the high schools as it is in middle school and elementary school. And I think we need to have that reflected in the APFO or considered. Any changes to the sewer allocation policy will need to be updated so that the APFO matches the sewer allocation policy. We don't want somebody moving through an APFO and then not being able to get a sewer commitment. And then we are looking at the summer traffic and the Bay Crossing study. We are tracking those things. The Bay Crossing study, there's been a lot of activity, as you guys know. You guys have participated and are well aware. Since the moratorium started, they've selected a preferred alternative. We know what that preferred alternative is. We have an idea of what the traffic pattern and as much of a schedule as they can provide. So we are we do understand what's going to happen with the bridge and when it's going to happen to the extent that information's available. So that's occurred since the beginning of the moratorium. So looking for feedback, we've gone through a number of different things, but looking for feedback on the sewer allocation policy mainly. Looking at having sewer allocation requests 4 times a year is one of the big major changes, and then also limiting the amount of residential sewer that would be available each year, and rationing that out is another big part of the policy that's out for consideration. We weren't recommending any limitations on commercial. You know, we don't have a whole lot of commercial, as Alan went through, a whole lot of commercial allocation requests, so we didn't see a need to ration out that commercial allocation the same way as residential. Residential consumes the vast majority of the allocation.
So, something I'd like to see a little more thought put into, and I think Phil was heading down that rabbit hole, is you're basically giving all of the subjective projects that come before Amy, or, you know, planning, they get 40 projects come in for the first quarter, then you're gonna dump 40 projects up here for the commissioners to pick winners and losers. I think we have to come up with something a little bit more refined than that.
I mean, last time we had to do that was the lot consolidation ordinance, you know, creating something that was going to be defendable in court, because we knew when we instituted that proclamation that there was going to be folks saying, wait a minute, how come I'm
No, I
getting...
don't feel comfortable sitting up here and doing that.
No.
Honestly, I mean, because that's, I mean, I go on Facebook anytime, we're taking money every day according to Facebook, and then that's just another reason to bring it up, right? That, oh, this developer got this because he got money, and I don't want to hear it. I mean, it's, we have to think about that, in my mind. You agree?
100%.
It's just, yeah.
Listen, I don't... How do I say this gently? I don't think you can. This job doesn't pay you enough to be able to take that kind of
No, like I said,
power.
We need to think through that one, at least in my mind. we
This
have
is
to
just an update with where things are after our first
I
4
appreciate
meetings.
it. This is good. What you
and-
guys came back with is really good.
And we want to hear that, so we will go back and consider that and come back to you with.
And I know there was a lot of questions that developers that have been providing commercial tax base and places for people to live in this county have big question marks when we instituted that moratorium. Some of them have a fair amount of money already invested in their projects that are just sitting there. So, I mean, we understand. So I appreciate you guys putting this together, presenting something to us. I'm sure it's going to address some of the issues and questions that have been out there. I know it's certainly going to help me if you get the likes of some of the developers who are saying, you know, what about my project? But there's still a lot of question marks.
And again, is you can almost use a queuing system where somebody, because it takes a while for some of these guys to check all the boxes. And that, I mean, Amy can speak to that they not all don't get to the finish line at the same time, but getting them into a queue, and then that queue being the, okay, when you're in the queue and all the boxes are checked, and then that's when it come in that quarterly range, so that I just feel like I see how this merry-go-round goes, and people are gonna, in that last minute, they're all gonna be lined up at the planning and zoning door trying to get in there to get approved so they can come to us the next month or whatever, so. But again, thank you for everything you guys did. I mean, honestly, no, that's a great start up there. It really is. 'Cause that's looking out 10, in my mind, you're looking out 15 years with the capacity you're gonna draw back in on the residential probably in October or whatever, when you were saying, so.
Yeah, I'm going to give you perspective. There's 3 projects that are pending. The one in Chester for 82 units, the one in Graceville for 34 units, and the one that's not ripe yet, also in Chester for 19 units, but I'm not aware of anything else on the horizon.
Right. No, I agree with you. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking you, what is it when you take all that's going on now out, where you at average-wise? And it sounds like you're far below that 10,000.
The 50,000 that's left over, if we don't get the re-rating, that includes the Hovnanian property in Graysonville?
They have received their sewer
They
allocation.
have
So that
received
50
their
grand,
allocation
that
already.
50,000 gallon does not include that. They've
That's
already
correct.
got it.
They've already
Okay.
got that. That's correct.
Aspire, yeah, Aspire. Yeah.
No, we have, as Alan mentioned, 3 projects that were working their way through the system, residential projects that were working their way through the system that are awaiting the outcome of the moratorium. Those are the ones we would expect to see the request sewer allocation pretty immediately.
Whatever, 82 and 34, is it 34? No, is it 42?
46.
Sorry?
46.
46. 82 and 46.
28.
Oh, that's not what I'm doing. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying.
Timing was perfect picking up my phone.
Say it out loud, 128.
So the next steps, we're going to finalized the comprehensive water and sewer plan, and that's going to start its way through the process. We're going to start to work on or refine the policies for APFO, and we'll bring them before the commissioners for a policy discussion. And then I'm sure there'll be a lot of input in the next week or so as a result of this presentation that we'll be listening to, hearing. You guys will be relaying to us, and we'll continue our work as a task force, updating this information to bring back to you in the next probably 60 days.
A lot of work, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Anything else?
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it. And members of the
Whole task force.
committee,
I know
task force that are here.
Most of the
Yeah,
audience
yeah.
left is in the
Thank
task
you all.
force.
Yep. Thank you all. All right. You're going to stay right there, right, Alan? Because next up, we have Department of Public Works. We have a couple action items for Public Works this evening, so if you want to turn to tab number 2. Tab 2, item 1, pages 1 through 3. This is a surplus lot we have in southern Kent Island. Actually, it's in Kent Island Estates. As you know, we acquired many vacant properties down there through donation. For $0. Public Works has assessed these properties for drainage and other needs that the county may have, but this particular lot on, Talbot Road is not needed for public purposes, and we have offered that particular lot for sale by the adjacent landowners, so they would have to join the lot with their property. They can't put another house there, but they could purchase it from the county, and then we would give that money back to the community for community improvements. So we have a contract sale for Lot 66 from the owner of 561 Talbot Road in the amount of $10,000 for your consideration this evening.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Quimby, if you have any questions about this, we had, I think, a total of 11 or so lots.
11, correct, donated.
And these are the only 2 so far that have had any interest?
We've sold 2 in 2023. This will be the 3rd lot for sale.
Yeah, I think Commissioner Porcarino actually recommended that we have this program and then let those funds go back to the community. We've done, some community improvements down there. I think we had a big check one time for
That's right.
we gave to the roads board, or
Right, 17,500.
17,500 to the community down there for community park.
I move to find and determine that the property known as 557 Talbot Road, Stevensville, Maryland, is no longer needed for public purposes, and approve the contract of sale for this property in an amount of $10,000, and authorize the chief property manager to execute this contract and direct the proceeds of sale to the Kent Island East States Community Association with community-specific improvements.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. 3-3-0-0.
What?
There's only 3 of us that voted.
Oh,
Yeah.
so 3-0-0.
Well, the other 0, he's not abstaining, and he's not, well,
Absent.
yeah, he's
You're
absent. You're right.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item 4, we have Proclamation 2610 for Flood Awareness Month, which is April. Would you like to read the proclamation, any commissioners? Oh, there it is. There it is. Here we go. Flood Awareness Month.
Flood Awareness Month, all right. Oh, good, it's a short one. Proclamation 26-10, whereas Governor Lawrence J. Hogan Jr., former governor of the state of Maryland, proclaimed April 2021 the first Maryland Flood Awareness Month and commended the observance to all citizens, and whereas just 1 inch of water in a home can cause up to $25,000 in damage according to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and floods are 4 times more likely to occur than fires, taking steps now to be prepared will make a difference when a disaster arrives. And whereas since circa 1970 there have been an increase in Atlantic hurricane activity, the 2021 hurricane season was the 3rd most active season on record, having produced 21 named storms, and the 2024 hurricane season was, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the 3rd costliest season on record, producing 11 hurricanes, 5 of which were of major classification. And whereas with nearly 500 miles of shoreline and 3,000 structures within a regulated floodplain, Queen Anne's County is no stranger to the effects of flooding. Be it storm surge, tidal, riverine, or mere nuisance flooding, Thousands of residents from Kent Island to North County are routinely exposed to risk and dangers associated with flood events and may be unaware, uninsured, or underinsured against flood hazards. And whereas spring and summer weather with increasing incidents of nuisance flooding requires residents of the Eastern Shore and Queen Anne's County to take extra precautions to ensure being safe at home during severe weather or while traveling, which includes always being up to date on weather forecasts and having an emergency kit at home and in their vehicles. And whereas the Commissioners of Queen Anne's County join the Queen Anne's County Department of Emergency Services, Planning and Zoning, and Public Works to encourage all county residents to reach out and learn more about the different flood hazards faced by individuals and communities across the state. Now therefore, we the County Commissioners, Queen Anne's County, do hereby proclaim April 2026 Flood Awareness Month in Queen Anne's County. Signed, County Commissioners.
If I can
want that on
just
your wall?
add real quickly, for all the folks that are here and watching on TV, make sure that if you have a flood insurance policy on your home, that you clearly understand what your coverages are, because it is different than a homeowner's insurance policy as far as what's covered. So reach out to your insurance agent or the carrier who has your flood insurance policy on your home and make sure you clearly understand what you're covered for. That's the end of my public service.
Excellent. That was your PSA for the
That was
day?
my PSA for the
I
evening.
like it.
No, that's good information, and thank you for reading the proclamation, Commissioner Wilson. All right. Okay, item 3, on page 5, Town of Sudlersville, Fox Farm Sewer and Water Allocation Request. This is the very first water and sewer allocation request in our new service area in the Town of Sudlersville. As for Fox Farms, I believe the applicant is here this evening, and also representatives from the town. I'm going to let Mr. Quimby and Mr. Lucas cover this. This is a little bit complicated, but it is the first allocation request for a new 247-unit subdivision in the town limits of Sudlersville. So, gentlemen, flip a coin? Yeah.
Scotty,
They're doing rock, paper, scissors over here to see who's
That's right.
my glass is like, I'm not touching this one.
Commissioners, Fox Farms is a 247 dwelling subdivision proposed in the town limits adjacent to the middle school. The site has no allocation, so would require 61,750 gallons per day of water and sewer allocation at a current cost of $3.8 million. The wastewater treatment plant has adequate capacity as a date. It's permitted at 200,000 gallons per day, and the current flow through was 72,500. Excuse me. It's a tie. The public works agreement was under negotiation before the county took over, so we honored it to a large degree to the parameters. They really don't have a sewer allocation policy. Thank you. They really don't have a sewer allocation policy. So the provisions of the public works agreement is currently drafted. Within 3 days of today, if he's successful in being granted allocation, he must make an initial deposit of $100,000. Prior to recordation of any phasing plat, they do intend to do it in phases. I think it's 5 phases, but no hold me to that. They would have to give another $2,000 per lot for the number of lots that are going to be recorded on that particular plat. And prior to issuance of permit, the balance of the allocation fees must be paid, which will have to be closely coordinated with the town because we're not issuing building permits.
Right.
Excuse me. As I noted, these payment provisions are considerably more favorable to the developer than we would do on Kent Island, just simply because the demand is so much greater on Kent Island. We don't feel we have to be that favorable. And that's the situation. Any questions?
Yeah, no, I'll read the motion in a second, but I wanted to ask one question about, so that the bill that went through Annapolis, and I think it's in part of the housing bill, right, with the impact fees, we need to get the clarification on how that's going to affect us from fire emergency services, because if my understanding's right, the impact fees are now going to have to be, and this is coming down through the state, are going to have to be spread out. You can't ask for the impact fee all up front anymore. You're going to allow so much now, then you're going to have to defer so much. And my argument when it was coming up was, well, we have volunteer fire departments. I can't wait for you to build a house a year from now to get the impact fee to support that fire department, because that fire department, if that house while it's under construction catches on fire, that fire department's going to have to go put the fire out. So there's an issue, but we need to, I want to, while I thought about it, we need to definitely look into that and see how that's going to affect any of this other stuff that's going on with allocations and things, just to know where cash flow is going to be is more what I'm looking at.
So you're saying the bill states that they have 1 year from construction?
It's a percentage, like how the impact fee is going to be allocated in the future. Like normally now you got to get it all, you get it all up front.
Like a third, or
Yeah,
something.
like how it's going to be done, like, when you apply for permit, it's going to be X, when you're going to, you got to halfway build, it's this, and then when you go for your C of O, it's this, so we do need to know. But anyway, let me make that motion. I move that we grant 61,750 gallons per day of sewer and water allocation to Fox Farm LLC for their proposed 274-unit residential development at a cost of $3,834,675, for which a $100,000 deposit will be required within 3 calendar days.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
All right.
Great.
Would you like to share anything? Yeah. Well, I was, in talking with you today, I was intrigued about the lower prices, the 325 range for the,
Patrick, let him come up here.
yeah.
Come on up.
Come on up.
Jim, we don't convene the sanitary. We didn't convene the sanitary.
Ooh.
You have to reread that.
So if you could, share how long this has been going on for, and
Sure.
why Sudlersville, and
Sure.
We
Lindsay Dixon, Graysonville, Maryland, Fox Farm LLC. We've been working on this job roughly 4 years. It's 247 lots, it's approximately 171 single-family, 76 townhouses. It's going to be built in phases. The first phase will be all the townhouses and a good portion of the singles running along the school. We're going to be building in there along with Ryan Homes. We're going to be doing basement homes, single-family in the back. They're going to be doing single-family homes on slabs, starting off in there. Townhouses will be somewhere in the low 300 range. Their singles will start somewhere in the low 400s, and we'll probably be in the high 400s. And it's right across from the park, right next to the middle school. And we hope to attract as many people that can find a living on Kent Island that's affordable.
thank you. As we were chatting on the group call today with the Housing Commission, I was saying how the folks, the firefighters, the EMTs, the teachers, the nurses, the DPW folks, the watermen, the farmers, they can't qualify for a $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 home. So the fact that you're investing in Sudlersville in the 300 range is still high, but it's a lot better than, say, Kent Island. So
Sure.
we hoping that Queen Anne's County folks can have a first dibs at that. If you'll work with them somehow, we'd appreciate that.
Absolutely. One of the things we discussed in the meeting today was the fact that whether it's one of our kids' friends that we coach growing up and we know them, or whether it's a teacher, a firefighter, police officer, any of them that come to us, we'll go find the best rate, the best grant, the best opportunity to get them in. And if they can't afford it today, we even help them come up with a program that maybe they can get in a year from now.
Great.
Because the reality of when you sign a contract to get a house built, it's probably 10 months no matter what by the time you get your permits, build your houses. And whether people have to save money, do staggered deposits, or come up with some kind of financing arrangement or pay off debt, it can happen in that time frame. People just have to reach out, ask for help, share their situation, and we'll do our best to get them in a home.
Yeah. We don't want our teachers to leave. We don't want our EMT folks
Or the kids that grew up here.
to leave.
Love to want to come home.
Right. We want them to stay.
So we have to read the...
We're going to reread yours.
Yeah, so I'm going to make a motion that we convene as the sanitation division.
Second.
Sanitation board.
All in favor?
All right. Now let's say this again. I move that we
Just a
grant
formality.
61,750 gallons per day of sewer and water allocation to Fox Farm LLC for their proposed 274-unit residential development at a cost of $3,834,675, for which a $100,000 deposit will be required within 3 calendar days.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved. 4-0.
Because you got another sanitary coming up. So
I think we still have to stay convened as sanitary, right?
yeah, we stay. Yes, Alan's got another one.
Any other questions?
Oh, that's
No,
no,
thank
thank you,
you.
sir.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, all right, so continuing as the Sanitary Commission, we have the FY '27 sewer and water rate increase. That's on page 6. And Matt's covering this one, he says. Our chief sanitary engineer, Mr. Matt Lucas, is going to cover this.
Rate increases. Al's like, he's done with those. He's done enough of those. Good evening, Commissioners. So as you know, in 2011, the Sanitary Commission adopted resolutions that capped the annual rate escalator at 6.5% for sewer and 5.5% for water fees for all sub-districts. The resolution had language indicating that these increases will take effect automatically on July 1st unless county commissioners determined by resolution prior to July 1st of each year that the rates will increase by a lesser percentage. Note this resolution preceded the creation of the ski sub-district, and if you'll recall, the intent was not to raise ski rates until Phase 4 was completed. Were constructed unless absolutely necessary. Also note this provision also preceded the recent acquisition of the Sudlersville and Barclay sewer service areas, so they are too unaffected by this issue. So in order to keep the rate increase at 2.5% for both water and sewer fees for the upcoming FY '27 budget, as it was submitted accepting Ski, Sudlersville, and Barclay, the board must pass motions similar to what is provided below. Note that the county attorney has indicated an approved motion will satisfy the resolution requirement.
Is it losing money?
I move to set the annual sewer and water operations and maintenance rate escalator for all sanitary district rate schedules for FY '27 budget year at 2.5%, with the exception of the subdistricts of Southern Cat Island, Sudlersville, Barclay, which shall see no increase in rates as a result of this action. That's my 12th time reading that.
I second the motion. Any other discussion?
Are we losing money?
No. Don't want to.
Increasing O&Ms.
And we're getting ready to reach a plateau of development, or we're not there yet, but the whole discussion we just had about limited capacity, so. Yeah, new growth is generating some revenue, but it won't for many more years.
Any other? All right, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I'm going to
Opposed?
abstain because I'm the only one that's actually, the only commissioner that's actually on county city, or county sewer and water, so I'm going to recuse myself from the vote.
2 yes, 1 no, and 1 abstention. Patrick's a
Wait,
no.
no? Oh, you
Thank
were
you.
no? Okay.
Got it.
Okay? So I don't know what that means. With that being said,
Well, that passes it was 2 to 1.
We have a quorum and we had 2 against 1, and with that, we're good.
Didn't
okay
pass.
then.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Commissioners. Okay, so we can proceed to our action items this evening. So this is under tab number 3. Tab 3, item 1, pages 1 through 3. This is the semi-annual property tax payment service fee. Annually, the county tax collector is authorized to bill a service fee for the lost interest and administrative costs associated with the semi-annual tax billing process. Again, this year, like last year, we didn't charge a fee, and we're recommending that we do not charge a service fee this year for folks to take advantage of the multi-payment option for their property taxes for the 2026-2027 tax year.
I move to submit the Department of Assessments and Taxation an approval form for the establishment of the county and municipal service fees for semi-annual property tax payments, a service charge in the amount of 0%.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item 2 on pages 4 through 21 is a Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program CREP easement, agreement of sale, and project agreement for Madison Mitchell Gray Quillen. We have 107.5 acres of a 340-acre farm owned by Ms. Quillen, ready to be submitted to the Maryland Department of Natural Resources for review and final approval. And this includes the agreement of sale, project agreement to be signed by the county commissioners. No county funding is involved with this easement.
I move to execute the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program, CREP, easement agreement of sale and project agreement for the property owned by Madison Mitchell Gray Quillen.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item 3 is from our Department of Emergency Services. It's on pages 22 through 24. This is Management and Consultants, Inc. billing agreement, and the Department of Emergency Services requesting authorization to enter a service agreement for emergency medical services billing. Essentially, they want to change vendors. County's current vendor is not doing such a fantastic job.
You've been here the whole time and you sat through all that.
Here comes Raymond. So they want to, revise that, go with a new vendor for the billing. I believe our FEC folks are making an adjustment as well in that sense, and we are going to see a reduction in the fees from 9% to 5.5%, resulting in a savings of over $173,000 a year. So
Yeah, this is a no-brainer, right?
You want to say anything about it? Please.
He just said $172,000 savings.
That's enough.
That says it all. You can't really follow that with anything, can you? It's like,
We'll make a motion on that one.
Well, we have been directed by the county administrator to find ways to cut costs, so we found a way to cut costs. And
that's good.
actually, Zach's crew initiated this. We started having issues 12 to 18 months ago with the current contractor we've had. We've given them the opportunity to fix their issues. The final straw, basically, which somebody's a member of, but they basically notified Queenstown that they don't have enough service provided, that they're just going to cut them off and not do their
billing for us.
Not do their billing anymore. They just dropped them out of the blue.
They just cut us.
What's that?
So you're just not doing enough business.
Apparently.
So the problem is the 9 volunteer fire companies, actually 8 volunteer fire companies that provide EMS service through the county system, and us did a package deal way back when we did the original billing contract, and we're all as one, basically. So when they got rid of one of us, they kind of got rid of all of us.
Boy, that was a managerial decision.
Oh. So at the end of the day, we found that Harford County, Zach's group actually found Harford County did a competitive bid process. We watched the process that they did, monitored the contractor they secured, and we've had a good couple months of evaluations, and they're extremely satisfied with who they picked. We interviewed them on our side. We liked them. We turned around and did a presentation at FEC meeting recently, and all 8 companies, I believe, voted in favor of switching, and we're just the last holdout right now to switch over. Is basically
That
the
one
whole story.
person who, that one account out of 9 is going to cost them all 9 accounts.
Yes, pretty much.
Well, wait till the owner of that company finds out someone made a bonehead move like that.
Well, like I said to Scott before the meeting, is what's more disturbing is that $176,000 was going in their pocket.
Yeah.
This is savings, which means they were pocketing that $176,000.
For years.
So, great job. You guys, even the ones that we just did with the other stuff on your side, a lot of good savings there. Almost $500,000 total in my, yeah.
And this is a
awesome.
good company for sort of customer service. The lady that came to us and presented, fantastic. So there's a lot of options that we don't currently have that we will have, and we're saving money.
Well, and I read in the write-up
Easy.
too that the customer service, I guess when they switched companies or whatever, was horrible, right, or something like that.
Yeah, they got purchased by a larger conglomerate, and since that's happened, we've seen a stark decrease in customer service. There's a lot of people calling the finance office and our office because they're not real happy with their end of the billing process, so this should result in a win for everyone.
Good. So I will move to authorize Director of Department of Emergency Services to execute a contract for the EMS billing and collection services between the Commissioners of Queen Anne's County and EMS Management and Consultants Incorporated.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Commissioners, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you all. Well done. Way to go.
Just paid for a couple of those cardiac monitors. Just got paid. Yeah. I like it.
Yep.
Just take it off your ledger.
We're
Best
running
ever.
a tally on you. We got it.
Commissioners, item number 4 on pages 25 through 29. This is a housing bond allocation transfer for 2026. And in order for the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development to utilize the Queen Anne's County Housing Bond allocation to participate in local government, must transfer its allocation to DHCD in writing. This has been an annual practice in which we've always participated. No county funds are involved. If you have any other questions,
This is
clerk's here.
pretty much housekeeping every year we do.
Pretty much every year, yeah. Yes, sir.
I move to execute the transfer of allocation letter to the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. This transfer will allow the department to utilize local government housing bond allocations for housing programs.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Does the motion have to be that since it's only Jim that signs it? Does it make a difference that the motion says execute a transfer of allocation letter? Wouldn't we just say?
Well, we're executing it as the body. It doesn't matter who signs
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
all right.
sometimes we do say Jim has signed it, but
Yeah.
I think legally we're fine. with
All
it.
right.
All right, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item 5 is a follow-up to some previous discussions we've had on the variance to the aviation obstruction regulations under COMAR resulting from MAA. So we've prepared resolution number 2604, and this was generated from Hinckley Yachts. They're proposing to expand their existing facility down there at the Bay Bridge Marina property adjacent to the Bay Bridge Airport. There are some penetrations into the airspace as a result of that particular building. So the Commissioners developed a process to address COMAR, and they adopted Resolution 2603, I believe it is, to set that process in place. Excuse me, 04, excuse me. And then, so we submitted the application that came forth from Hinckley to the Bay Bridge Airport Board, and they had a favorable recommendation, which we attached here too. They agreed to, Hinckley agreed to several proposed mitigation strategies consisting of additional lighting on the structure and the other improvements that would be needed for the AWAS if there's any impacts there. So it is ready for consideration for the variance, and we have drafted the attached resolution for your consideration if you wanted to grant
I move
that
to adopt
variance.
Resolution 26-04 variance to the aviation obstruction regulations, Hink BB Holdings, LLC, Hinckley Yachts.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Our last item is item number 6, Budget Amendment CC9 for the Housing Authority for Riverside Estates. This amendment increases the budget authority by $102,000 for the Riverside Estates capital project, which is being funded with prior year fund balance to continue renovations and improvements down there at that particular public housing project.
I move to approve budget amendment CC9 Housing Authority Riverside Estates.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0.
All right, Commissioners, that is all I had this evening for you. Press and public comments?
That'd be a no.
No?
Like, that's the last man standing.
Got anything
Woman
to read?
standing.
Emails? Nothing. You got nothing. Okay.
We should make him do improv.
Yeah. All righty.
He's a pretty good singer, too, you know.
We'll go to roundtable. Jack, you're up first.
All right, so just a couple things. First, before I came here tonight, I had the pleasure of being the host at the Start One Up at Washington College, which was sponsored by Upper Shore Regional Council, and since I'm the chair this year, I ran the business resources panel. So they have 10 startups, or 10 companies that are in all entrepreneurial companies, single, dual-person owners, compete with pitching their ideas. It was a $4,000 first prize for the company that was picked by the judges. It was a panel of 3 judges. And I'm happy to report, of the 10, 5 were Queen Anne's County, 3 were Kent, and 2 were Cecil. The first place went to Humble Hearts from right here in Queen Anne's County, who is also, and I'm going to preface this, is also one of our graduates from the, what's called?
Catalyst Q.
To Catalyst Q, was a graduate. Second place went to Garden Warriors, who was also a Catalyst Q graduate that we just heard from.
Yep.
And third place went to Brackish Books, which is a startup that they do, they have a mobile book mobile that's in a horse trailer that they've retrofitted out to be a mobile book. Yeah, it was pretty good. So
That's pretty cool.
congratulations to all of them. Proud that they're all Queen Anne's County winners, and our other two did a fantastic job. And the other two, one was the young lady who did that we all said we were going to get on board with the stress relief thing, where she does like the holistic stress relief and all that. She was one of the presenters, did a fantastic. She was actually had to go first, so it was she had to lead off, which is always tough. But and then I'm trying to remember what our fifth one was. But anyway, they all did a great job, and you could tell they were all Catalyst Q except for one, and just really polished in their presentation. So cool.
Which is
dividends paid,
which is
right?
one of the things that they learned to do is pitch their business, sure.
Yeah. So, and then the only other thing I want to bring up at roundtable is something for you guys to mull over, and I'd like to try to get some action on it probably in the next meeting if we can, or to think about. I'd like to go back to, we did it years ago, I'd like to go back to the first Tuesday being a 9 a.m. meeting. And there's a reason I want to do that is I feel bad when I'm sitting in here in the evening and I got to look out and our staff has to be here till 7, 8 o'clock at night when they've been here all day to sit around and wait for the public part of the meeting to get done in some cases. So what I'd like to do is present it or propose that we do the first meeting where possible as a 9 a.m. meeting, that we bring in all the staff business, the county business, bring that before us so we can get through that stuff, and then have the second meeting, the night meeting, be more for the presentations to public to come in, hearings and things like that. So just throwing it out there, think about it.
I'm with you. I have no problem with that. Okay.
Well, we gotta.
I understand. I'm just saying that, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, we used to do that one
did.
day.
It's been, yeah.
They used to all be in the daytime every week, and then we went to 2 meetings a month, day, night.
And everyone complained they had to go to work, and so if you make it on a non-legislative day or something, I think
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. And if that, actually, part of that came from my travels around the state and watching the other counties, how they do it, and they typically do it that way for that biggest reason why you keep staff here till 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's
Right.
It's not right. So.
Okay. Patrick?
I concur with everything that I was at the START show today, and I really enjoyed the AI presentation. How
I think she was from Kent County, though, Patrick.
yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I
For the home
actually,
team. You got to root for the home team.
Jack, I got to one up you. I actually am hiring Humble Hearts
Oh, there you
for
go.
the 23rd for 150 breakfasts, prayer breakfast. Anyhow, that was a great entrepreneur competition. It'd be nice if more people actually applied for that, but it was great. That's it. I know we're doing a lot with mental health, and more to come on that.
Okay. Julie?
Hazardous materials recycling event was this past weekend, and it was a huge success. The boat shrink wrap recycling event is still going on. Dumpsters at the Graceville transfer station and bags can be picked up for free at the library, both locations, West Marine in Chester, Ace Hardware in Stevensville, and Centerville Town Hall. Dumpsters will be on site till June. This week is National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week, and we honor and thank our 911 specialists. Stay tuned on DES social media as we honor these folks each day. We're gearing up for a lot of spring and summer events. Follow Queen Anne's County Parks and Rec on social media for all your upcoming events. Canine Garden Party, Churchill Yard Sale, summer concert events, and so on. There's a senior summit. This is a reminder, May 15th at the 4-H Park. And you will receive notifications coming out in the future, in the near future, as paving operations are underway. So stay tuned to those social media announcements. And that is thanks to Beth for sending this information to me to read at Roundtable. What you do is amazing. So thank you, Beth.
Bada bing. All righty. I got nothing.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.